Hey everybody, so today I'm going to do a review on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S 10.5. This is a 32 gig model and it's the color titanium bronze. You can see how the whole edge is the bronze color, and then the gray around the frame of the screen is the titanium. So then on the left side you got a speaker and the headphone jack. Then along the top you got the power on off sleep wake along with the volume button. And then that black piece right there is a sensor to control your TV. Then on the right side, you got another speaker, your micro SD slot, and then the power plug where you charge it. So then on the back side, you got the 8 megapixel camera with flash. And the material is kind of a rubberized plastic, and it does provide a lot of grip when you're holding it with one hand. I know the iPad being aluminum, it makes it a little more slippery. And then these two little tabs right here are for the Samsung cases, they just kind of pop in. So then to turn it on, you just hold the power on off button, and then once it already is on, you can just hit the home button or just tap the power button. And you just swipe it in any direction to unlock it. So I definitely did a lot of research before I bought this, and the other tablets I was considering were the Microsoft Surface 2 and the iPad Air. The iPad Air 32 gig is $600, this one 32 gig is $550, and I believe the Surface 2 is like $450. And then when you compare the screens on all of them, the Samsung has the largest screen at 10.5 inches, and it packs 287 pixels per inch. The iPad has a 9.7 inch display with 262 pixels per inch, and then the Surface has a 10.1 inch display with 208 pixels per inch. So as far as resolution goes, both the iPad and the Galaxy are far superior compared to the Surface. The iPad and the Galaxy both can play back videos up to 1440, whereas the Surface can only play up to 1080. And then when just comparing the Galaxy to the Galaxy has a larger screen with better resolution. So it has a much better screen than the iPad. And then just a little bit about the weight. The Galaxy weighs just over 1 pound by like a few grams, and then the iPad is just a little bit heavier than the Galaxy. The Galaxy is 16.4 ounces, whereas the iPad is 16.5 ounces. Not that you'd actually notice the difference. Whereas the Surface is actually 23 ounces, so that's a huge difference. And then when talking about the size of this actual unit, I really like the size and shape of the Galaxy. I like the iPad as well. It's very proportional when you hold it landscape and portrait, but the screen is just a little too small feeling, whereas I think a 10.5 inch display is kind of the perfect size for a tablet. And then the Microsoft Surface, I'm not a huge fan on its display just because it's very wide, but it's not as tall. So it's not really that proportional when you're holding it in portrait. You really only want to use that device in landscape. So this is the Android 4.4 KitKat operating software. So for those of you Android users, you'll be very familiar with it. And it does come standard with Handcom Office, which is its normal Office program. You have Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. And as far as I can tell, they're very compatible with Microsoft Word. I'm able to open normal Word documents up on here. So when I use this for school and my teacher posts, a Word document online, I can easily open it with no issues. Same with PowerPoint. And then another feature it has is multitasking. And last year I used the Surface quite a bit, and it has multitasking as well, and it seems to be very useful. So just to show you kind of how it looks, I'll open up a YouTube video, and then all you do, you swipe from the right, and there's a whole list of different apps, and you can add and delete them. You can just hold down one of them and drag it. So now I have Google Chrome along with the YouTube video playing. And for the screen size, it's kind of cool if you have it in the video in full screen, and then you put the device in this orientation. So you can see how the video is playing like normal, and then you have an internet page open. And with Google Chrome, you can just open up different tabs. And then this Windows button right there shows everything that's open, and you can just close all right there, and it'll go right back to the home screen. So I know when I've used the Microsoft Surface, it's kind of hard to tell what apps are open, where this is nice how you can just hit there, see what's open, and then go to even your task manager, and if there's any other things running in the background, you can just end them, which is very nice. And then part of the Android operating system, you can customize basically however you'd like. You can move apps around with no issue. Very customizable. You can have weather, and then when you scroll over, these are called, I think, like magazine tiles or something, and you can edit them, and you can add widgets to them. customize however you'd like. And then some other built-in apps. It does have Hangouts like every Android phone will have. That's your normal video chat. And then for the camera, this has an 8 megapixel rear-facing camera with flash and a 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera. I know the iPad has a 5 megapixel rear-facing and I believe a 1 megapixel front-facing. And this does have several features in the camera, different cool modes. So that's very nice to have. So as far as the actual unit, I think this is definitely the better of the three. It does have the nicest display with the biggest screen and the best cameras. And then for entertainment apps, it does have the Google Play Store like every Android device will. And there's definitely hundreds of thousands of games and apps you can get on here. And there's a Kindle app for this device, so if you are into reading, you can have a nice ebook. Some other interesting features, if you go into your settings, which you can either swipe down and go to your quick settings there, and then go to your full settings with that icon there, or just have the actual settings logo right there. This does have the fingerprint scanner, and you just go into the device and the lock screen, and then screen lock, and you can set up your own fingerprint, which is pretty cool. And then it does have some different smart motions you can do. You can just cover your hand on the screen to pause it. And then another neat one is the smart pause. If you look away from the screen when a video is playing, it'll pause the device. You can kind of see the animation right there. That's pretty neat to have. So those of you who are very familiar with the Android device, you're going to be very familiar using this new Samsung. Like the music is identical to the way it is on my phone. Just scroll through everything just like you would on your phone. And swipe through everything. So there's a good overview of how to use this device. It definitely has a lot of features that are very helpful. And when you compare this with the Surface and the iPad, I think that the Surface makes a really good portable laptop, but it's not really the best tablet. I don't think the screen is really the best shape for a tablet, and then I don't think that the Windows 8 is really that good when you're only using touchscreen. However, on the other side, I think that the iPad makes a really good tablet. It's good to watch videos and play games and has a nice screen, but it doesn't have all the productivity that you would like. Whereas the Samsung has all the productivity you need with the Office and the multitasking and other various features, and it has all the good things you want in a tablet, like an amazing screen, a good camera. The Google Play Store has plenty of apps and games to keep you entertained. It's nice to watch videos. So the Samsung really has everything you need. And it's in the middle in price when you're comparing the 32 gigs across the board. So there you go, that is the review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S 10.5. Definitely a very nice tablet. So be sure to check out my channel and subscribe to my channel.